Hey everyone, it's Chris Loud. Today I'm going to show a demo of how I create loose and intuitive abstract paintings. For this sketchbook example, I'll be using a limited palette of acrylic paint. I started off with a mixture of alizarin crimson, green gold, and white, and just used a brayer to start the background. And now I'm using some charcoal to just get some marks down, just some random shapes and lines. And to fix the charcoal, I just put a little bit of acrylic gel medium over top and then dried that. So several times in here I stop the video and dry it with a hair dryer. So you will see maybe sometimes a little bit of a jump from painting with a little bit of glare to one without. So that's what that is. I'm using alizarin crimson, green gold, Mars black, and titanium white, so a very limited palette on this one. I left it open that I could add some more colors if I wanted to, but really decided to just go with those by the end. And right now, just putting some paint down, just seeing if something jumps out at me, trying to establish a little bit of a background. And making some marks. I will tell you that this one, looking at this now, you really won't recognize this by the end of the painting. I think there's one shape in there that maybe makes it all the way through. But I'm also using in this painting a brayer brush, silicone paintbrush, catalyst wedge, palette knife, charcoal pencil, and I think at one point I did use a water-soluble wax pastel. But I'll put all those in the description if you want to check out what I was using here. But doing an intuitive painting is always really, for me, I find that it's such a fun way of painting. Just really going in with no preconceived idea of what you're going to be painting. You're just putting some paint down, some mark down, and reacting to that. So, what am I looking at when I'm reacting to the painting? I'm looking at colors. Places where I think the colors really jump out. I'm looking at possible focal points, patterns, anything that jumps out. So, like this here, I'm putting down some stripes with the Mars black and seeing if that sparks anything for me. So just playing at this point. And when I talk about being loose, I mean what things that I think of that help me be loose when I'm painting. Sometimes I'll try using my non-dominant hand. So even when I was doing the charcoal, I think at one point I grabbed it with my left hand. I'm right-handed, and started putting down marks with my left hand. Maybe using a brush or a tool that you don't commonly use, or hold the brush or the tool very loosely and at the end of the handle. Sometimes I even will close my eyes for a couple of brush strokes, just to, put something down that I can play with and react to. Also, larger brushes keeps you from really getting detailed, and you're just putting marks down. And here you can see I'm just putting a white mat down, turning it around, looking at different orientations, seeing if there's anything in there that is sparking my interest. Right now, I remember at this point I was looking at the obviously that kind of reddish square with the black corner, and then the stripes were kind of standing out. And it doesn't show up very well here in this video, but in the upper right corner, the mix of the green gold and alizarin crimson and white actually had a very pretty color, so that was something that was standing out to me as well. And now I'm using a paintbrush, kind of a small 1-inch paintbrush that I got, I think at Home Depot it was about $1, and it had some long wispy bristles at the end, and I just took some scissors and cut those off. So it's very hard and scratchy. and just applying some paint with that, and now using a palette knife to scratch in some lines. So I felt like at this point I had something there to work with all the black lines and the stripes and this kind of red box in the middle. It was just a matter of where I was going to go with that. So I just kept putting some paint down, trying some different shades of alizarin crimson and green gold, and again using some different tools, back to the kind of thick hard bristle brush, scratching some lines in. And several times I do flip it around, looking at different orientations. And again, I'm just, it's intuitive. I'm just kind of reacting and thinking, well, I'm gonna try some paint here and see if I felt like it worked. But really kind of fun free form painting, just not really having a direction is really freeing and expressive. And you know, do they all turn out real well? No, absolutely not. You get a lot of I won't say you. I get a lot of duds in there, and you know, sometimes I'll pull them back out and play with them again. And here again, just kind of flipping things around, looking at it in a different way, see if anything's jumping out from a different orientation. So my question for you all is, when you paint, do you prefer to have a subject or be more intuitive? I'm kind of a mix of both. I would say overall I usually have some kind of subject, even for abstract paintings, something that's getting me started, some kind of prompt to get me going. But the nice thing about doing these intuitive abstract paintings is, you know, it's just unexpected. I had no clue what this was going to look like by the end. I mean, even halfway through, I was still thinking, well, I'll keep looking and see if something jumps out. But this is a great exercise, these type of paintings, for beginners and really advanced painters as well. I mean, just kind of get a chance to very quickly explore, you know, your creativity and how you react to what you're seeing on a page or a canvas, for that matter. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel and want to see more paintings like this and other abstract paintings and really just other paintings in general, I do several prompts, videos with prompts. Feel free to subscribe. And I primarily work in acrylics and do some mixed media. So here's the final painting, and I'll show you another quick. I worked on it for a few minutes more, just using a fine tip applicator to kind of establish some lines here, and then I'll paint out a little bit. But I just felt like those stripes were a little too, for as loose and messy as this painting is, a little too clean. So I wanted to change them up a little bit. So you'll see here that I'll put a little black down. I'll show you the final version of this with those little boxes kind of shifted a little bit. But working with a limited palette really helps your creative side of things. So, but here's the final painting. So thanks for watching, and keep on painting.